And so many people don't understand how powerful their actions and their words can be to someone who is growing and trying to figure out who their authentic self is in a world that's telling them that they are not accepted, that they shouldn't be different, that they're not enough. Today is a new day. I am Nikki G, your host. Welcome to the Lone Doctrine, a safe space to bridge the gap between your authentic self and your mental health. We are your food for thought exploration station in order to make today better than yesterday. Hello and welcome to another week of the Lone Doctrine. I am super stoked to have you here, and I didn't say it last week, but I'll say it now. Happy Pride Month to all the LGBTQ plus people and all the allies. This month is a month to celebrate our genuine and authentic selves, but then at the same time, remember those who made it possible for us to be where we are today. But we still have a long way to go. And our topic of the month ties into this. Sometimes we have a hard time celebrating our authentic self because, topic of the month, bullies, bullying. We've been talking about bullying because it's getting worse. And I wanted to start to address it because I really believe knowledge is peace. To understand what bullying is and the way it can affect different groups of our society, and to sometimes understand why people bully, we can diffuse what's going on, not just with our youth, but with adults as well. I'm seeing it more and more and more, and it's crossing over to many different groups in many different ways, and it has to come to a stop. I have my own opinion of it. I have grown up being bullied, and in a nutshell, I really feel it's a waste of time. And ironically, the energy people are choosing to put out there is a waste of time. So, not only is it a waste of time to be bullied, it's a waste of time to bully. So let's stop wasting time. And as we try to heal ourselves, our mental health, the less we're going to feel like we have to lash out at someone. Even if you consider yourself not a bully, which I hope you don't. And if you do, I hope this month can be a reflection to really dig deep to find that healing and realize that type of toxic energy you're holding on to isn't worth it. And the type of toxic energy that's being put into the world isn't helping. It's not making the world a better place. It's making it more difficult. And so many people don't understand how powerful their actions and their words can be to someone who is growing and trying to figure out who their authentic self is in a world that's telling them that they are not accepted, that they shouldn't be different, that they're not enough. And those are all things made up by humans. Now, we could go way, way back on why all of these beliefs happen and why this misconstrued lie has been tangled in religion, and why people feel that people are doing different things that don't fit the norm of what they've learned are sinners. It's a big giant topic. That's not why we're here today. Last month we talked about what bullying is. This month I want us to explore why people bully so we can understand the other side better. Because when we don't allow ourselves to lower to their level, when we don't allow ourselves to fight fire with fire, then we can rise up, change the frequency, change the energy, and diffuse and give less power to these people who are trying to break people down. So, why do people bully? I will fully admit, I will have my own opinions throughout this podcast. But I also know I don't know everything, and I will humbly admit that, as I always do. So I explore to try to find different things so we can all try to really wrap our heads around why people feel the need to bully. Let's start with kids, because that's where it kind of begins. If we can stop it from the root, think of how much better our adult lives would be. So, why do kids bully? Understanding how and why a bully uses aggressive behavior is key to knowing how to handle the situation. This is from a website, a really good resource called stompoutbullying.org. A common reason that a kid is a bully is because he or she or them lacks attention from a parent at home and lashes out at the others for attention. This can include neglected children, children of divorced parents, or children with parents under the regular influence of drugs and alcohol. Older siblings can also be the cause of the problem. If they've been bullied, they are more apt to bully a younger sibling or someone younger than them to feel more secure or empower themselves. And we cannot rule out the fact that an adult role model can be a bully. This can include parents, teachers, coaches, mentors. Very often, parents are the bullies, are angry, or don't handle conflict well. Kids usually bully because they learn this behavior at home. It is a learned behavior, which can be unlearned. Most bullies don't understand how wrong their behavior is and how it makes the other person being bullied feel. That's the one thing that is lacking in our society is empathy, is remorse, is feeling the consequences of our actions, especially when it comes to cyberbullying. No matter what kind of bully someone is, they have not learned kindness, compassion, and respect. Bullies don't need a reason to hurt others. When asked, some replied, "Why do you bully?" "Because it makes me feel stronger, smarter, or better than the other person. Because I'm bullied at home. Because it's what you do if you want to hang out with the right crowd. Because I see others doing it. Because I'm jealous of the other person. Because it's one of the best ways to keep others from bullying me." Whatever the reason, bullying is not cool. It's just plain old mean. Whether we've done it ourselves or we know others who are doing it, it is important for us to understand that bullying is serious and has harmful effects on the lives of everyone. Maybe it's not happening to you, but someday it could. So then, if we don't stop bullying in its tracks, what happens is then teens start bullying, and boy, they can be vicious. It's about power, it's about popularity, it's about payback and problems and pleasure and prejudices and peer pressure. So many things go into these kids' lives that they're trying to discern and trying to work through, especially when someone is different. If they've been taught that one way is the only way, then anyone who is outside that box is different. Anyone that is outside that box is wrong. These are things, again, that most likely have been taught at home or somewhere where it's a multi generational belief system that keeps going and going and going. But the more we expose our youth to diversity, the more we debunk all of these awful ideas of what it is when it actually isn't, the more peace we're going to have in our lives and for our youth, because both sides are affected. The bully is affected mentally and physically, as is the person being bullied. And when someone is being bullied, that is a red flag to realize that someone, if not both parties, whether it be a single person to a single person or a group to a group, is hurting. Those are opportunities and telltale signs of people that might be struggling with impulse control or anger management or some kind of hardship, depression, anxiety, or lack of self worth, of all these things that they're overcompensating for and they're projecting upon within themselves to everyone around them or to one unfortunate, vulnerable person. According to BetterHelp.com, the reasons why people bully are this. When you hear the word bully, there is probably someone who comes to mind. Bullies intimidate others verbally, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically. Dealing with someone who bullies is something most people have been forced to do at least once in their life. When you understand why the person acts this way, it can help you know how to stop them. Bullying isn't just something that happens at school. There are bullies at every stage of life. Bullying is something that you can experience within your family. Even bullying at work can happen. While it is common for some children who are bullies to eventually learn their lessons and grow out of the behavior, others become adults and continue to act in the same inappropriate way. So, why do people bully? Again, why? There's no easy, cut and dry answer, and I've been trying to figure this out most of my life. But we'll discuss the following reasons that are an umbrella reason and kind of in a nutshell. A lot of people who bully actually feel very insecure. They feel powerless. They feel the need for control, and they want to be rewarded for this behavior. Bullying is life changing for those who are targeted. When you're bullied, it affects your self esteem and it causes social problems as well. Depression and teen suicide are higher among those who experience bullying. Finding the right counselor or therapist or support group is the best way to learn how to deal with someone who bullies and the problems that they cause. But those who bully need therapy as much as those who have been bullied. The earlier we address this, whether it be through professional help, help at the school, and stopping it in its tracks, is more beneficial than you may realize. Because along the way, they can learn to better relate socially to others and they won't end up being the quote unquote adult bully. And let me wrap it up here with 9 things I found on mightyfighter.com of why people bully. Number 1, the bully has been bullied before. Many bullies have been bullied before, whether by family or just by peers. They may have been teased to a point where they feel insignificant, which makes them so angry that they have to take it out on someone else. Number 2, the bully is lonely. Feeling unimportant and left out can contribute to bullying. Everyone needs attention, and sometimes those who don't have enough will turn into bullies. It's what they feel gives them power and a sense of importance. Even if they have a lot of friends, they may still crave that attention they feel they deserve but are not getting. Number 3, the bully has problems at home. This is a big one. It's common for a bully to have had problems at home or have problems at home. This could be physical or verbal abuse that will affect someone's mind. That could turn a normal person into an aggressive and emotional being with a fragile mind, especially when you're young and your mind is still developing. You have to understand that if this is the case, then the bully is a victim too. Number 4, the bully has low self-esteem. If someone feels that they're not smart enough, attractive enough, or worthy enough, then they have to make themselves feel better about themselves. Whatever the reason is, the easiest way for them to achieve that is by putting someone else down. However, they'll find out sooner or later that that's a losing way because someone will fight back eventually. Unfortunately, they will probably just go back to finding a weaker person to pick on. Number 5, the bully is most likely jealous. This ties with the previous reason of the bully having low self-esteem. However, if a bully is jealous of a certain person, then they'll take their frustrations out on that person. The main reason for jealousy is often popularity. The victim could be more popular than the bully, which truly gets on their nerves. Number 6, The bully is part of a pack. More often than not, bullies roll in groups. They want a sense of security just in case someone decides to fight back. Then they have a call for backup. Usually, if they were alone, this reduces their confidence and they will wait until they feel safe. The bully's peers can either be bullies themselves or just popular people who are good at dealing with others. You have to filter out the good from the bad in the group. Number 7, the bully has a big ego. Some bullies don't fit in any of the above criteria. Their main motivation for bullying simply boils down to having a big ego. Their arrogance has made them themselves believe that they're the best thing since sliced bread. Until someone challenges them on this, they'll continue to have the same frame of mind. And number 8, the bully likes to impress. Certain people want to be the center of attention. A lot of people want to be the center of attention. We all know someone like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but a bully chooses to get that attention the wrong way. They usually don't have a particular talent or skill that they can impress people with, so they have to poke fun at someone to get some laughs. Because of this, they feel that they've left a good impression amongst their peers by knocking someone else down. And last but not least, the bully sees you as being different. A bully will pick out their target based on a specific reason. You could be different in some way, whether it's by race, sexuality, disability, or something else. They will single you out and verbally and or physically abuse you. Usually, they won't let you know the reason, but most of the time, it's pretty obvious. A bully can fall under one or maybe even all of these reasons. Some change within time while others remain a bully for the rest of their lives. It just depends on whether something or someone can change their mentality or not. Different circumstances and events can transform someone into a cool and understanding person. Unfortunately, it can also turn them into a complete bully. So, the reason I wanted to talk about why people bully is because when I've been bullied, I really, really had to learn that bullying says more about the person attacking me than myself and I. Because it's hard not to take it personal. But most of the time, ironically, it's someone that barely knows you. And it's something that's just in passing most of the time. And because it's a prejudgment. Have you ever heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Well, most everyone does. And because of that, I've had to learn to step back to realize that empathy is the answer. Although it's not a foolproof approach, it allows me to step back and it allows them not to take my well being and my energy and my power. To remain patient, to remain calm, to remain empathetic or even sympathetic that they're hurting so bad that they would attack someone they barely know is sad, is hard. And the fact is that sometimes these kids, especially, are the victim. The ones that are hurting the most, the ones that are the biggest bullies, probably have a really, really rough home life. And that's where we need to step back and recognize maybe how can we help that person? How can we help the situation? How can we diffuse it? Next time, we're going to talk about ways to do that. And we've mentioned some before. The last 2 episodes, I've mentioned things that you can do in the moment, and I've mentioned things on how you can approach bullying overall. And the more we understand this and the more we take action as a solid front together, the less people will be hurting. And that's the biggest takeaway of today. We want people to hurt less. Can we all agree on that? When it comes push to shove, no matter what the situation is, wouldn't it be nice if we lived in a world where people weren't hurting, where people weren't depressed, where people weren't sad or have anxiety. Granted, I'm not saying a perfect world, but I'm saying a world where we as people, we as humans aren't causing it, that we're allowing ourselves to lift each other up because there's enough things that are in our lives that are unpredictable and unavoidable and inevitable that we don't need to add more negative energy on top of it all. Sometimes life can get very real and very hard. And the last thing we need is people wasting their time with menial judgments and bullying. So, whether you're someone who's being bullied, whether you feel like maybe you've been the bully at one point, I hope that you'll listen to these episodes over and over and over again to find the ways that will work for you to be your best self, to be someone that will lift everyone up, to be someone that not only makes their own life better, but also makes the lives of everyone around them even better. Because that's a life worth living, and you are worth it. So, I want to take a quick moment to reach out and let you know that we're creating a community throughout all our social media platforms, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok, at Lone Doctrine. I would love for you to join me there. And even better, I would love for you to join us at patreon.com/Lone Doctrine, patreon.com/Lone Doctrine, to help support our mission and our cause and to keep creating a safe space to bridge the gap between your authentic self and your mental health. We are a listener supported podcast, and anything and everything goes a long way. And we appreciate all our supporters. And we hope to see you on all platforms so we can continue to fill our cup and continue to make today better than yesterday. So, next week, we're going to talk about how to stop bullying, how to stand up, stand firm. So, until then, keep fighting the good fight.